What's up guys, Quick51 here, time for another video, and it's something that I kind of wanted to discuss and is pretty cool actually if you really think about it. It is the Final Fantasy 15 for Final Fantasy 15. I spelled episode wrong. Can you guys see this? Holy crap. Doesn't matter, simple mistake, you know, it happens. I don't blame you, Sato. Final Fantasy 15 Episode Duske demo update coming with additional combat actions. So if you guys don't know, episode 15 demo, essentially playable demo, was released on PS4 and Xbox One probably earlier in the year. Had really good positive things. Have really cool positive things. Now, Square Enix just announced that it's coming up with an update, which includes some things. So I'm gonna read it out, and we'll both go through it. Square Enix announced that their Episode Duske demo for Final Fantasy 15, which lets players explore parts of the massive Duske region, will get an update that adds various adjustments and more. While we still don't have the full details, the Episode Duske version 2.0 update will add some enhancements to the active cross-battle cooperative moves. Okay, camera targeting system adjustments, additional combat actions, balance adjustments, and bug fixes. The update will also add a lot more to the quests, along with stabilized frame rates, which Square Enix are currently working on at the moment. Again, Square Enix revealed that they will have a big announcement for Final Fantasy 15 at this year's Gamescom. Final Fantasy 15 is in development for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. What does this mean? Well, I do appreciate Square Enix. It's a weird thing to have, like, if you guys think about our generation of this generation of video games in particular, we are getting so many updates on the games. It's horrifying for a person like me who has really bad internet. You know, a person who has bad internet who's constantly having their games updated just to play online. But this and another example that I'll bring up in a bit is actually pretty cool, honestly. It's pretty cool for games that we are looking forward to. But again, it's something that does, you know, involve that does mean that the developers will have to put in more work, but it'll get a lot of fans on their side if they put in this work. And what I mean is, having a demo of all things being supported post-launch is actually pretty cool and pretty neat of an idea that I think more developers and more companies should take advantage of. Because essentially, well, now that I think about it, I've got two examples. If you think of it this way, when you launch a demo, you get the initial sort of responses, people like it, you get feedback and stuff like that. It almost becomes sort of like the same notion of a beta. You have players testing it, giving feedback, and you implement it into a way that everyone can play it, and you provide more feedback. I think this is really clever. Like, having a demo like this, which has just enough content and enough replayability, is a good way of judging what needs to be fixed before real development starts on it. And a good example is just that it adds a little more to the quests, adds stabilized frame rates, which is really important, because honestly, I think Episode Duske, Final Fantasy 15 would benefit from a rock solid 30 frames per second. In an ideal world, it would be 60, but I don't see that happening with a game this graphics intensive. 30 is enough to make the combat feel a lot more smoother. You'll get a lot more feedback. You won't have a lot of objections that the frame rate is a bit choppy. And it adds a lot of new moves, so I think updating demos could be a huge benefit to the consumer and the company. What I mean by that is, you are essentially giving yourself free advertising through a patch, and it's giving people something to look forward to, saying, you know, or maybe let's say example is maybe they unlock a little bit of new area. I think a weirdly good example of that was that the Destiny beta unlocked more stuff and let you try out a few things before the launch. We all know that Destiny wasn't the most well-received game, but that beta was actually, like, honestly, I played enough of the beta to just be like, okay, you know what, I don't need to play the full game. I think I've had enough touching with this. But like, you know, like I knew what was in it. I didn't feel like it was a game for me. See what I mean? So having this episode Duske thing, having it updated, because I feel like in Destiny's case, it was getting constant updates. So it was in people's minds at the time, and I think this is a beneficial thing for demos. That if you have improvements onto the demos itself, because it's so much easier now with all our consoles being connected to the net, being constantly updated. I think having this is just a no-brainer. It can just be easily updated through a patch to add more content. You're getting free advertisement that way. So in this case, I'm really excited for episode Duske version 2.0, because I want to see the changes. I want to see the development of this game to the point where it's close, because they've already said that this isn't the final game. This is all we've got so far. So we want to improve on it. Another game that I wanted to bring up, which is a good example, was today I actually, if you guys don't know, codename Steam for 3DS hasn't actually been released in Australia yet. Shocking, I know. You guys in America have probably got it already, but I just looked at it and they just updated the demo version to include the the time skip, essentially, the skipping of turns and stuff like that. See, that's really cool. The fact that we are even 3DS is done to do this with updates and stuff like that. It makes me want to play the game. It gets me prepared. It gets me excited, because I'm like, okay, so this game is, there's improvements. I'm seeing it. I can feel it. That's the advantage of a demo, as opposed to just things on like a dot points on like a page, essentially, just information. They're allowing us to test out these changes that they're implementing firsthand. That's what I like about this news. I want more companies to do this, especially if they want to drum up interest. I mean, especially with like demos and stuff like that. I feel like now would be a good time to allow for developers to put out a sort of a good version to drum up advertisement. It becomes your advertisement, essentially. People try out the game for free and they want to play the final version, because like you're building up momentum, saying, okay, these improvements, I like them, and then the final release comes out, I'll buy it. You've sold it to me. Whew. Yeah. So look forward to me playing this. I actually want to try out. I'm gonna actually go back and play the original version before this comes out, this update, and then play this update and see what's different. So I think this is good news. I think if companies do this with a lot more demos, I think a lot more I think the perception of blindly buying a game because people told you to won't be as kind of like hurtful. Because if you really think about the Destiny beta as an example, whatever we got in the beta was actually in the game. So as much as people were thinking it'd be Activision essentially just saying, okay, it's a grand story, there's a lot of story, which turned out to be bullcrap at the end, but the game itself was fundamentally there. It was updated, it was constantly updated with PvP and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping to see where this goes. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, man and girls, have a good one. Take care. Koi51 out.